All right, welcome back to Reject the Now. Today we're talking about these crazy torpedo bats that are causing a huge stir in the MLB right now. We're only a couple days into the start of the Major League Baseball season, and the Yankees are already finding ways to fudge the rules to somehow try and win games because they got embarrassed in the World Series last year. I'm here with Phil, who is a Yankee fan. I am clearly a Mets fan, so we're going to have very differing opinions on this. And let's just get into the article, and we'll get into it. How are you doing so far, Phil?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm having a great baseball season.
Oh, yeah, I bet you are. I bet you are, because you guys are playing on rookie mode with your cheating bats.
Rookie mode. I'm a little upset I broke my bat at batting practice this year. I still play baseball.
Oh, but yeah, you should probably buy a torpedo bat then.
We just looked it up. I can buy it. They're $200 at Dick's Sporting Goods, so we might be purchasing one for the team just to have it. But that bat wouldn't work for me because I don't hit on the inner half. But whatever.
So the one when I heard about this, I started doing a little research, and they were saying that they were doing, they hired some guy from MIT to analyze Anthony Volpe's swing because he kept getting jammed on the inside or he kept hitting it in the wrong spot on the bat. And Anthony Volpe sucks, and we all know this. So they were like, we need to make him better for whatever reason. So they decided to design this bat that, because he hits the ball in the same part of the bat every single time, they decided to load up that one area of the bat with more wood, and then it kind of tapers off towards the tip of the bat, where normally they would do that scoop. They would scoop out the end of the bat to make the bat lighter, so it's less load that you're swinging around. You can get the bat around faster.
Sure.
So they decided to take whatever that amount of mass is and just add more to the sweet spot.
No. It's not added to the sweet spot. The sweet spot
is taken away from the top and added.
They moved it. It's still the same diameter and it's still the same size sweet spot as in any other wooden bat. It's just moved.
Yeah, so you're going to have more load behind the contact.
Where they make contact. And each bat apparently is made specifically for each player who wanted one or whatever, because they did analysis of where they hit the ball on the bat the most. Sure. Total of how many Yankees are using it, though?
I have a list that I found online of
4.
Oh, where'd that go?
4 using it. And all the pictures you keep sending me of Judge with the play school big bat. Judge
just because Judge is the face of the team.
He
hit 4 home runs.
The bat. Judge is
a monster. Dave Portnoy says that he has used it, and they're just not talking about it because it's Aaron Judge.
No, he has not used it. Look at his at bats, and I don't care what Dave Portnoy says.
He's a Red Sox fan.
I respect his pizza decisions, but I don't respect his baseball decisions because he's a Red Sox fan. So he can go eat a hot dog at Fenway. I don't know. But the whole.
Right, let's get to the article here, I guess.
Fine. Let the numbers talk.
The MLB specifications. It is technically legal in terms
of case closed
rules.
Good night.
But it is a loophole, and it's fudging the rules.
No,
because the rules say that it needs to be smooth, but there's no specifications of that it needs to be uniform or it needs to be whatever way it is. It just says it needs to be smooth. So technically it's not violating the rules. But my question for you is this good for baseball? I know, and take your bias as a Yankee fan aside. Let's say the Red Sox or the Mets were the team that came up with this torpedo bat, and Soto and everybody are hitting.
If you're asking me, would I want everyone in the MLB using it? No, I don't. Would I ever use a torpedo bat? No, it seems like a silly thing, especially because it doesn't work for my swing. It doesn't break the rules. The history of Major League Baseball is people trying to bend the rules. Okay, technically, you're not supposed to steal signs. People do it all the time. They've come up with systems to steal signs. As a baseball player,
and then they hit on trash cans or.
As a baseball player, when I'm on first base, I was always trained to take a peek in at the catcher to see if I could pick up the sign and cue the batter. That's just part of being a good baseball player. Is it breaking the rules? Not necessarily. And since the bat doesn't break any rules, it should be fine. It's not, you can't blame the Yankees. Major League Baseball is to blame. If you want to blame anyone, blame them. They approved the bat.
Well,
they could very easily today say, you know what, this whole thing is ridiculous. It's bad for the game. We're just going to get rid of it. But they're not going to do it.
They're not going to do it.
They want
to do it all season.
About this. They want this video out on the internet because they want people having this discussion. It makes
and they want the Yankees to succeed. They want the Yankees to succeed. We all know this.
No,
they're the biggest market. They're the biggest market. They make the most money. Yankees Dodgers World Series was clearly cooked from last season. They already know they want a rematch.
Oh, they would love
to do it.
They would love it. They know where the money is, sure.
Yeah.
And they would love the Yankees to go far into the playoffs. I'm not going to say not, but nothing is stopping your beloved Mets from using the torpedo bat. They can go use it, have fun.
Everyone I understand that, but I'm asking, is it good for baseball to have football scores as scores? And totally pretty much taking the pitcher out of the equation.
I mean, the pitchers just like hitters are supposed to adapt to the pitching, pitchers are need to adapt to the hitting. Over the last couple of years,
with this hitting, it's not even fair.
It is fair. It's the same size.
Jazz Chisholm has six hits, 3 of which are home runs.
Okay.
He's only hit 24 home runs in his career as a career high.
Where did he hit those home runs?
What are you talking about?
Where did he hit all of his home runs so
far? The jet stream of Yankee Stadium?
In Yankee Stadium with the short.
But he was only a rental player from last year.
Doesn't matter.
He wasn't on the team for the whole year.
Put him on the road. He's not going to hit those same home runs just because he has 3 so far. I've watched them. I've watched all 3 of his home runs. Any other ballpark, those are fly balls. And we're not having this discussion about Jazz Chisholm. And Aaron Judge isn't using the bat. He's got 4 home runs. He's an animal.
But that's just Aaron Judge. That's
exactly.
No one's expecting that from Aaron Judge. So like everyone knows that he's going to hit ridiculous amount of home runs. That's just Aaron Judge.
The home run factor is being way over, hyped up because
they hit 15 home runs in a game.
Well, they hit 9.
Well, they had 15 home runs in the first 3 games.
Yes, but it's Yankee Stadium. It's more Yankee Stadium than the bat.
I don't know.
I guarantee
we'll have to see when they
on the road in a real ballpark. And I don't like the new Yankee Stadium. I think it sucks. Put him in a real ballpark. Those are going to be fly balls, and we're not having this discussion.
We will have to see about that. They did have a Twins catcher who did use a torpedo bat. He went 0 for 4.
There you go.
I don't know. Well, these bats were specifically designed for them by this MIT physicist. Each player.
And every team.
This other guy was just like you,
some nerd scientist to do the same thing.
No, but I'm saying you're this guy on the Twins is like you, who just went and bought a bat.
Okay.
And has no MIT physicist doing any analysis of your swing or anything like that. And you guys are just going to, swing the bat and see what happens.
All right. Well, he's on the Twins.
That's what that guy's doing, and that's why it's not effective because I'm assuming the load area is moved to a different area based on where you make contact with your swing.
The Yankees can't be held accountable because small market teams like the Twins don't want to spend the same amount of money on batter, I don't know, improvement. Call it whatever you will.
This is just another thing on the list of the long line of things that the Yankees do, whether it's ticking them off on telling them when a fastball's coming with their Apple Watch, or the sticky stuff that Garrett Cole got screwed.
I don't want to hear pitcher stuff. They all get caught with that crap on their hands. It's all pitchers. It's not the Yankees.
Garrett Cole decided to become God one season when he wasn't really that good. And then all of a sudden his spin rate was ungodly, like unhuman. Like no human could make a ball rotate that like that.
Okay.
It's because of the sticky stuff. And that was the Yankees using sticky stuff, using Apple Watches. The Apple Watch thing is on par with the Astros hitting a trash can. Like, I don't know why you guys haven't gotten any flack for that, but that's on the Astros are MLB's public enemy number 1. No one likes the Astros. I don't care what ballpark they walk into.
No, they cheat.
They're getting booed no matter what. Every fan base hates them. Because they won a World Series and it came out that they were cheating. But the Yankees did the same exact thing But instead of hitting a trash can, they just had an Apple Watch on that would buzz when they caught the sign that the fastball is coming.
Nope. Unsubstantiated.
So how did they didn't catch flack for that because they're the Yankees? No. They shouldn't get special treatment for that. They're cheaters.
You can't prove. That's all hearsay.
It was proven. That's why they're not allowed to wear watches anymore. They're not allowed to wear them.
Listen, every baseball team is always looking for an edge. The article even goes into it. Okay, you go into baseball, all pitchers are looking for an edge, all hitters are looking for an edge. And all they did was not take advantage of the rule, just look at the rule and say, look, can we do this? And they did. There's no reason why other teams can't do the same thing. Okay? It's just being a savvy player. It has nothing to do with the New York Yankees and any advantage they have over Major League Baseball just because they're the Yankees. It's because everyone can follow the same format. There's nothing stopping them.
And the MIT physicist is a coward and declined comment.
David Pritchard is his name.
No, his name is Aaron Lienhard. Former Yankees analyst who was hired as the field coordinator this past winter. And he declined comment. So why? Why couldn't he?
Because they probably told him because he doesn't want the flack.
Because the Yankees don't want things to come out.
He doesn't want to be on ESPN every 2 seconds. He probably has a private life, and he doesn't want it invaded by nut jobs like you.
I don't know.
Mad because the Yankees are kicking ass this year.
He doesn't want the stuff to come out.
What stuff? It's like some.
Maybe there's some shady stuff behind the scenes.
He's got unobtainium inside the bats. That's where that little bulge is.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees are using cork bats too. Aaron Judge doesn't want
to use now this is
bat. Aaron Judge doesn't want to use a torpedo bat because his bats are corked.
No, incorrect. The guy is a monster.
I know. I'm not talking about Judge. I'm talking about the fact that Jazz Chisholm is a scrub and he's not a good player.
He's actually
he's a very average player. And now all of a sudden he has 3 home runs in the first 3 games of the season.
Again, because of
the bat.
You give him a full season inside Yankee Stadium with that short porch. You have you don't realize how short it is. And all you got to do is put a fly ball up in the air, and the thing is going to go.
The jet stream also helps the ball just fly in that direction.
I'm not saying Yankee Stadium isn't cheap. It definitely is. You can get so many cheap home runs there; it's ridiculous, and they do. They capitalize on it. But other teams get to play there too, and you get the same advantage with your lefty batters.
But you're just defeating your own argument there because you're saying, oh, they have the same advantage as the team with the jet stream and stuff. How come the Brewers didn't hit that many home runs?
Because they're the Brewers. They have scrub.
The Brewers went to the NLDS and they would have been in the NLCS if it wasn't for Pete Alonso's home run.
Well, how many lefties do they have on the team? I don't even know.
The one that he hit right here. This is the picture of him after he hit it. Right there. Oh yeah.
I don't see it.
Yeah, that little picture right there in this frame.
Oh, Pete Alonso.
That's right after he hit the home run in Milwaukee. Okay. Anyway, they would have been in the NLCS and they could have possibly went to the World Series if they beat the Dodgers. Which they wouldn't have, but they could have
beat the Dodgers.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen in baseball. We all have seen that. Look at all the different ways that people have won over the years that they shouldn't have. But if the Brewers had the same exact ability to hit that many home runs because of the jet stream, because of the short porch, because of whatever, they didn't. And the people who hit home runs were Aaron Judge, because Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge, who's up here. And then a bunch of scrub players who are either past their prime or never were good, hit a ton of home runs because of their torpedo bats. I watched Jazz Chisholm through his whole entire career. He played the Mets a million times on the Marlins. He's not good. He's flashy. He wears chains. He acts like he's got swagger and all that kind of stuff. He was on the cover of a video game because he's got swagger and all that. But he's not a good player. I don't think he's an elite level player that's going to hit 50% of the time he makes contact with the ball.
The only thing the bat is going to do for a player like him is give him a couple of extra little cheap hits, dinkers over the infield that would, usually they would have just been dead fly balls. They might pop over the infield for a couple extra hits. So the last part of this article, it goes revolutionary or clever innovation. Okay, baseball, very traditional game. If you get up there with a funny looking bat and you strike out, when you go back to the dugout, what's going to happen? You're going to get razzed by the team, obviously. If it's just some outsiders like Aaron, who has a PhD from MIT, really understands physics, knows what's going on, and the sort of guy who drives something under the radar and sees if it works. Yankees like Anthony Volpe, Jazz Chisholm, Cody Bellinger, Paul Goldschmidt, Austin Wells will perhaps have the early upper hand with the new bat, but everyone's going to have the opportunity to use it and see if it works. The only thing that's going to change is that a couple of hitters will be, their numbers will slightly go up, not slugging percentage, just average will go up because of the bat. Because if it actually works, I'm not even 100% convinced that it is actually beneficial for the hitter, because I'm a traditional baseball guy. I've used the same style bat my whole life. I don't see it catching on. I don't think it's going to be a very big deal. I think it's all to make headlines and all just, to bring a little early excitement to the Major League Baseball season. A game that definitely needs a jolt to the general public.
I think it's bringing them wins. I think that's why they did it. They didn't do it for publicity.
I mean, at the end of the day,
they clearly did it for a competitive edge. That's the only reason they did it.
Well, every team does that. Every team looks for that next competitive edge. That's what I mean. This is not like big news. I don't see why it's such a big deal.
To me, I think that this is bad for baseball to introduce stuff like this, because now certain players, or even young players that are coming up, or young kids, are going to think that they need a torpedo bat to be good. They don't need just a regular bat and learn how to actually hit the ball correctly. They think, oh, well, I see Jazz Chisholm and Anthony Volpe up there smacking bombs every 2 seconds. So I need to do that too if I want to be good. Because we're obviously from the area of New York area, like the tri-state area. Like, all the kids in this area are going to be trying to use torpedo bats in the future. And I think that that's going to affect the game in general. And then now you're going to have certain players that have certain kinds of bats. And then it's like, what are we evolving the game into? Is it going to be like, oh, you need to have are players going to be categorized based on what bats they use? So they're going to be like, oh, we need our torpedo. Like, instead of calling the cleanup hitter, he's going to be the torpedo bat hitter. Like that's
baseball categorizes hitters by eye color. They already do all this. They know power hitter, inside hitter, outside hitter, all around hitter. They know hitters that are going to look for a walk. I mean, they calculate. I know
the analytics of baseball are insane.
Absolutely.
I understand that.
And if you hit on the inner part of the half of the plate most of the time, this is going to turn you into a better hitter. I would argue that you should learn how to become a all-around good hitter, but those days are gone. All right, they proved that when they reduced the shift in the infield. They don't allow teams to shift anymore because the hitters were hitting.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. But it was an edge that the fielders were using because major league hitters are dog shit now.
And then look what happened.
And they don't know how to go to the opposite field.
I know. No one knows how to go oppo anymore. But like when you do the shift, I'm glad that but see how they did that? The fielders came up. The MLB only cares about runs.
Yes.
They don't care about anything.
100%.
This is why they're not doing
anything everyone out during the steroid era.
That's why they're not doing anything about this torpedo bat.
Yeah, they don't care. I told you, MLB wants the headlines.
Pitcher, no. MLB wants runs. They want the headlines because of the run.
Dude, now, you don't think there's people that want to go see the Yankees now because young kids want to see Volpe hitting with the torpedo bat?
100%.
It's going to get runs. It's going to get people talking. It's going to sell tickets. That's what they want.
That the pitchers came out. They did use the sticky stuff, and it neutered hitters. They got rid of it.
They've used that forever.
I'm saying like when Garrett Cole was using it, when it was like his curveball or sinker or whatever he's throwing.
They started watching now. They check your hands in between innings.
Yeah, but I'm saying like because he had it on his hands and he was getting that insane spin rate, and he was mowing down hitters. They got rid of it because it was affecting the hitters. Then they used the shift, and it was affecting all the big power hitters because all they know how to do is pull.
Yep.
All the big stars weren't getting their hits, and they want the big stars to get hits, so they got rid of that. So I feel like the MLB is very, very quiet and very rightful, and this is right on par for them to be quiet about this and then say it's fine, because they know that it's going to help the hitters. And then that's all they want. They want 20-run games. They don't care about pitchers duels.
Like the
NFL. They don't care about true baseball.
It's just the people who run these leagues do not care about the purity of the game. The NFL,
no, of course they don't.
The NFL does the same thing. You can't touch the quarterback. They just want touchdowns being thrown down the field. They want scored 80 to 65. They don't care about the integrity of the game.
Now I'm wondering what is the home run derby going to look like?
I don't
know. Not that I care about the home run derby, but if they're using these bats and you can figure out that every time you swing the bat and you make contact,
it doesn't add more pop to your swing though. It doesn't add anything. It just shifts the hard part of the barrel. That's all it does.
It shifts it, but it adds the load behind the ball, which is going to send the ball further. When you talk about launch angle and ball speed and all that kind of stuff, it clearly helps. The only thing I did read in this article is that these hitters are going to be very one-dimensional hitters.
They already are.
And if you hit the ball off the end of the bat with one of these torpedo bats, you're not going to have a good time.
It's
not going to go into play.
It's not the tool, it's the carpenter. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, we'll have to revisit this later in the season once we actually see how some of the stuff is starting to play out. So we'll definitely be revisiting.
If we come back later in the season, we do a follow-up on the torpedo bat, and Jazz Chisholm has 50 home runs, then I'll say we have a problem.
Well, if he's anywhere in the MLB leaders for home runs, then we know we have a problem.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. But I agree, he's not a home run leader in the MLB.
The Mets hit 4 home runs last night without torpedo bats. So
there you go. So, yeah.
Don't need them. Big grand slam. Big grand slam by this guy right here.
Neither did Dan Judge. Pete Alonso is way overrated. Way overrated. He'll be bagging groceries in a week.
That's all right. You guys can just keep crying about Soto.
Panda Bear. I don't need him. Freaking sucks. You're going to see the first time he drops
I don't need the best hitter in baseball on my team who's 26 years old.
You don't even know how old he is. Those Spaniard players, you got to watch out for them. They say they're 26. That dude might be 37. You have no clue.
I'll see. He's not. He's not.
He's on the bench warmer. He's lying
El
about
Duque?
it. He's 12. Yeah, El Duque. Whatever. All right. What do you guys think at home? Do you think the bat is cheap? Do you think it should be legal? Let us know in the chat. Hey, and subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of movies coming out this summer. We got a lot more TV shows to critique and a lot more stuff to go over this summer. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to be here for it.
All right, and let's go Mets.
Yanks.